Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Bramble Fox. And for this layout I'm using the Fox Cut Stencil 95 Travel Borders and the Captured Perspective and also the Fox Dies number 9, which was the weather set. I knew at the moment I saw that the stencil that I really wanted to make a travel layout, and the Captured Perspective I thought would be absolutely perfect for this too. So this is a pre-made Vicki Boutin background, and I've got lots of ephemera on the left there that are from Vicki Boutin's travel ranges, and I'm going to use a lot of those bits and pieces to back these 4 photographs. I'm using the colours in the photographs to help me choose the bits and pieces to go behind them. So I'm picking out yellows and oranges, blues and greens as I go down. Also, nothing too big. I don't want to cover the mixed media that hasn't happened yet. But I just want to add a little bit of interest behind the photographs. So all 4 photographs were taken on the same trip, they're just documenting a cruise I did in Croatia in the autumn of last year. And they're just 4 highlights, just to give a feel of the sort of holiday that we had. So I'm busy looking at all the bits. I don't like to miss anything, so I just want to make sure I've got a good few layers behind each picture before I move on to using the Fox Cut Stencil 95. Did you manage to get hold of the Captured Perspective set in the recent sale? In fact, it was so popular, it's sold out. So I hope you managed to bag yourself some goodies, because there was some amazing Bramble Fox product on sale there. And we always need a little bit more in our stash, particularly new stuff. There's something about having something new that makes you want to be more creative, I always feel. And that's exactly how I felt when I saw this stencil. I love to travel, I love holiday layouts, and I knew it would be absolutely perfect. So I'm just trimming down some stars that ironically never make the cut in the end, but it was just, I was looking at bits and pieces that I thought I could add to these little clusters before I lifted them off to do some work on the background. I think we all create in different ways, don't we? I don't tend to use much sticky tape at this stage. I'm always moving things around, just trying to be sure. Sometimes I go off and make a cup of tea, come back and move things around. I add a few more pieces. Are you more decisive than me? I bet you are. I bet you've already got stuff stuck down. But it's kind of all part of my process, so I tend to just embrace it. And if you've watched me before, you know that I need to have a look at everything that I've got out there in that tray, just to see if there's anything that might quite go. The things that are being put on the right, they've got more chance of making it, but that doesn't mean that they actually will. But it's just, I like to whittle down what I've got to use. And just to do that, I've just brought in some of the chipboard pieces that come from various Vicki Boutin ranges, see if there's any bits on there, just so I could add a little bit of what a friend of mine calls chunk. Just, I don't like my layouts to be particularly flat, so that's one of the great things about the perspectives. They've got a little bit of depth to them, and I'm looking at the chipboard pieces the same to see if there's, I could just add a bit of depth. I think a little bit of shadow on a layout really works. As I go through these last bits and pieces, I'm particularly looking at things that go with the teal, which is the same as the word captured, and just to bring pops of that teal around the layout when it finally goes together. I'm also ashamed to say how much Vicki Boutin collection I still have from various ranges, but hey, I think we've all got some stash stored away that we doesn't always see the light of day. So onto the fun bit. So mixed media is not my main thing. Unfortunately I'm not as talented as Julie Taylor, who's amazing at these things, but I do like a stencil and I do like what I'd call clean mixed media. So unfortunately I had a bit of a camera error and the first bit of the stenciling isn't recorded, but you will see plenty of it to see the way that I did it. So you'll notice that I've got post-it notes attached to the stencil. That is because there are various lines on this border, travel borders stencil, and I only want certain lines to be stenciled at any one time. And rather than think I can be careful and miss the other bits, I've learnt my lesson over the years, and I feel that actually if I block them off, then I've got a better chance of not making marks I didn't want. I have tried washi tape in the past, and I've found that I've managed to damage a couple of stencils by covering them in washi, thinking it would peel off easily. So I find for me, post-it notes work really well, and you can move them around on the stencil. I'm going to use 3 different areas of this stencil on this layout, and I'm using the same post-it notes repeatedly. So I've done one of the arrow borders on the 2 center ones, and I've done the arrows at the bottom. I'm also going to use the word discover here as well, so you can see that I've got post-its all the way around it. I've got a tiny bit of washi tape there just so I can stick it down, but I'm careful what I stick it to. But also, can you see that I could flip it backwards and forwards so I can check where I am, check if it's exactly where I want. I'm also adding this in a tealy colour to coordinate with the word captured. And I'm adding another post-it note to one side of it so that I'm not making any errors and going off the stencil in any way because of my lack of practice at using them. So I'm just happy with the way that's going. I'm getting darker and darker because I want it to be quite prominent. That's going to be part of my title. And then I'm just popping the tags back on. You'll notice I've also put those together with a bit of tape off camera just so that I can lift them backwards and forwards. I don't know whether you've ever done some mixed media and then covered it back up, and that is so frustrating. So by having the tags ready, I can actually just lift them back on repeatedly to know that I'm getting my stenciling in the right place. So I want to come back with big arrows along the top. So I've moved my post-its again, and I just want it to mirror the arrows at the bottom. So it does take me a little while to get that stencil in position. Obviously I'm using the tag there again with the photo on, and I'm just flipping it there just to make sure that I'm on the right part of the Vicki Boutin paper. And I've got a grey green that I'm coming in with here, just lightly, as you don't need too much pressure. And you'll see that I've got a bit of scrap paper there on the left, and I keep dabbing off the brush so that I'm not going to get any harsh lines. Easy to extend the stencil. You obviously just follow the line of the arrows, just moving it along, just like you would a punch, so that works. And then I want to double them back on themselves. So I'm just going to turn the stencil round, back in I come, and I'm going to add some arrows going the other way. Still very faintly. I don't need many because the tag will cover the rest. And I'm just looking at adding some finishing touches there. I've brought in my essential hearts from the spring collection, and I'm going to add one of those as well. There's a really nice frosted pale yellow in that set, and I'm going to add that with a glue dot. So I'm just going to start to stick things down and then have a look if there's anything else I want to add in. I think the stenciling looks really effective. It's not very it's not the star of the show, but that's not what I'd have planned for it. I wanted it to be there just to add interest to the background. It's drawing your eye into all of the photographs. So I feel like it works really well. This certainly is a very versatile stencil with 4 different lines of things that you could pick from. And then in fact, in one line, there's 3 different phrases or words. It's got a multitude of uses, so I would really recommend this one. It's Fox Cut Stencil 95 Travel Borders. I think you'll be seeing it here again real soon. So I'm just using some foam pads there just to add a few bits and pieces. There's a little frosted heart that I mentioned, and then I've brought in a teal alpha from my stash. It's a Jelly Bean Soup one, and I'm just going to add the word Croatia under the stencil Discover. Just using my ruler just to have a look. I'm going to put that over the top of the stenciling that I did earlier, and that just echoes the same colour as the word captured, and I feel like it ties it in together. It takes me a little bit of time to get those letters into position. Some of them I just feel maybe they're just a little bit small, and I'm finding them a bit tricky, but it doesn't take me long to be happy with the way that they are looking. Also, keep your eye out on the shop at bramblefox.co.uk. There's always new products being added. Obviously, you've got the Fox Box and the Fox Box Plus subscriptions that you can have. And at the last minute, I remember that I have the Fox Dies, which is number 9, the weather set. That's still in store. There's 8 different little dies in this pack, and there's a couple of sunshines. And I thought, actually, this was a lovely sunny holiday. So I've cut some of that out of just some scraps of yellow basil, and I took them around 2 photos. So thank you so much for watching. Check out these products in the store. some close-ups too. Thank you so much. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Any questions, we're happy to answer. Just put them in the comments below, and we hope to see you here again real soon. Bye for now.